Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so it is Friday, so it's time once again for Fan Creation Friday, the ongoing series where I go over a bunch of custom cards submitted by you guys from the Discord, and then myself and a group of judges, which includes the Discord mods and the winner from the previous week, will pick out a bunch of the submissions that are our favorites to make it into the video, as well as an overall winner. So just like with most weeks, the winning entry for this week is the one that got the most votes from multiple judges. As always, I say this in every episode, but it's a great fun reading through all the entries. All the entries are really good. There's a lot of ones that are really interesting, people coming up with new mechanics, all that kind of stuff. But there can only be so many in the video, and that's why we go by the sort of system where, you know, the entries that get multiple votes are the ones that make it into the video. So it's very possible that, you know, if you don't see your entry in this video, it's very possible that one of the judges did indeed pick it as one of their top 3, but none of the others did. Maybe some of the other ones in the video got picked twice by all the judges, all that kind of stuff. So, as always, don't feel disheartened if your entry did not make it in this week. It's good to see, like, the same people always taking part, even if you don't necessarily make it in. Definitely got some new names that I didn't recognize in this one as well. So, again, a lot of great entries. The theme for this week, as you can obviously have already told by the title, is artificial life forms. We didn't make it a restriction this week that they had to be an artificial life forms leader. They just had to be an artificial life forms unit. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump straight in and see what we've got for this week. Okay, so first up we have the entry from 7. And this is actually a Dragon Ball Heroes unit, technically, but obviously an artificial life form. So this is a combo card of Baby in his base, youth form, first form, whatever you want to call it, and Hachiak, who will then combine together into Baby Hachiak. So, an Extreme Tech TUR. Extreme Tech, always got to get some love, of course, one of the worst monotypings. Their leader skill is Artificial Life Forms or Revenge, 3 key, HP 130, attack and defense 170. Revenge definitely needs a extreme leader, and then obviously Artificial Life Forms is another leader skill, very good. You could definitely make a very strong team out of this leader skill. So the super attack effect for Baby and Hachiak is the Tuffle's Revenge, does immense damage to the enemy and lowers attack and defense. Their passive is the double the power, double the vengeance. I really like that. So attack and defense 100%. Then they get an additional attack and defense 25% per other extreme class ally attacking in the same turn. So you're probably going to be running them on a full extreme team. So basically 150% attack and defense start of turn. Very strong. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack, and that's guaranteed if it's a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan enemy. So basically against like a large majority of the game, guaranteed double super. So very, very good. With the attack lowering effect on super, that's obviously going to be very useful for like Super Battle Road. Then they also have Key +1 and attack and defense 15% for extreme class allies with each super attack performed, up to Key +3 and attack and defense 35%. So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of like the Janemba and Pycon thing with the orbs, where you'll actually see like the other units on the rotation, like their key go up and their like attack stat go up and stuff mid-turn when this guy is performing their additional super attacks. So very cool, and obviously when they're maxed out they are a very solid support unit. Then you can use the active skill to transform. So from the 4th turn from the start of battle after performing at least 3 super attacks. So if you're not against a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan and you get bad RNG, then obviously you might not get to use this until their 4th appearance. But if you are getting that additional super, then obviously you can get this fairly early on. And it is an active skill, so if you want to keep them as a support unit, like if you're running double them as leaders for the team, this obviously works really well, like the typical sort of cooler Bojack like blueprint. But when you do use the active skill, Baby toughelizes with Hachiak and transforms into Baby Hachiak. The super attack is the final Revenger Cannon, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy and lowers attack and defense. The passive, Fusion of Vengeful Machinations, recovers 50% HP once only, so very good, got a nice little healing effect. That could be another reason why you'd want to save the active skill as well, so you can bust it out when you need to heal. Key +3, attack and defense 150, reduce damage received by 50%. Then they get an additional attack and defense 50% and launch an additional super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack. So, I mean, crazy slot 1 unit, right? 50% damage reduction. And then when they get hit, they get a 50% attack and defense buff and a guaranteed additional super. So, we've seen a lot of units release in Dokkan lately that are really, really good in slot 2 or 3, but not super good for slot 1. And this is like an extreme unit that is made to be in slot 1. So, really, really good. They also get an additional attack and defense 20% for extreme class allies when performing a super attack, high chance to perform a critical hit when attacking pure or hybrid Saiyan category enemies, and deliver the final blow to recover 50% HP. So we have not seen them use this like deliver the final blow mechanic on a lot of cards recently. I think there's not many in the game at all that have this effect, but 50% HP recovery. I mean, this unit would be an absolute god for like Super Battle Road no item runs. Like, built-in damage reduction, guaranteed additional super if they've been hit, and then if they kill one of the enemies, you recover 50% HP. So obviously this could happen mid-turn after you've just got blasted with super attacks, and then they kill someone, and you get 50% HP recovery. So that is actually crazy. This unit is really, really good. I really, really like this. So the links are Hatred of Saiyans, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Thirst for Conquest, Tough as Nails, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, and then Post-Transformation, Hatred for Saiyans, Metamorphosis, Fear and Faith, Thirst for Conquest, Tough as Nails, Coward, and Fierce Battle. I guess, interestingly enough, like, Coward is one of those random links that a couple of units do have. I think STR Bojack has it. So it's not a very good link really overall in terms of how common it is, but there are a couple of units that have it. But I mean, just by having Metamorphosis, Fear and Faith, Thirst for Conquest, and Fierce Battle, I mean, that's 4 very strong links. Obviously, it'd be really good if they had big bad bosses, but this unit is pretty busted as it is anyway. So their categories are Join Forces, Artificial Lifeforms, Revenge, Crossover, Terrifying Conquerors, Dragon Ball Heroes, Corroded Body and Minds, another big buff for that team as well. And yeah, Baby Hachiyak from Dragon Ball Heroes. So yeah, really, really good entry to start us off. Really, really strong. I definitely want to make people very aware that, like, sometimes I will put the entry that is a close second just before the winner, but the entries are not in the video in terms of like ranking of how good they are. Like, obviously this card I think is really, really good. And it's just the first one of the video. So shout out to 7 for this one. Very, very good card. Let us move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the entry from twiggyx, who has created Super Saiyan Goku clone and Super Saiyan Vegeta clone. Familiar faces. So this is based on the clone warriors from Dragon Ball Fighters in like the black and red attire. They're Extreme Tech as well, Extreme Tech TUR. Artificial Lifeforms or Crossover, 3 key, HP 130, attack and defense 170. The super attack, name and effect, is the Final Flash and Kamehameha. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does immense damage to the enemy, and seals super attack. So very good super attack effects here. The passive is attack and defense 150%, attack and defense 59% when performing a super attack. Reduce damage received by 20% up to 90 for each rainbow orb obtained. That's quite interesting. Honestly, I think like 5 rainbow orbs is so difficult to get. I think you just don't put the cap on it. Like, just straight up, give them 100% damage reduction if you can actually get 5 rainbow orbs, just because that's so uncommon. But yeah, 90% if you get 5 rainbow orbs. Changes a random type of orbs to rainbow when there is an extreme class, artificial lifeform, or crossover ally attacking in the same turn. So, I mean, they do make their own, so I guess with them it would be a little bit easier to get 5, but still, I think that'd be pretty funny. Launches an additional super when there is a Pure Saiyan, Hybrid Saiyan, Earthling, or Namekian category enemy. So most of the super type enemies covered here, obviously based on, you know, in fighters, the clone warriors being enemies, to the Z fighters. Medium chance to stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns. So a lot of very good effects. They have an active skill, Attack of the Clones. Temporarily, massively raises attack and causes ultimate damage. Can be activated after 4 turns. So just straight up 4 turns. So it's basically like the Super Saiyan 4's, the LR Super Saiyan 4 active skill. Their links are Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Golden Warrior, Cold Judgment, Kamehameha, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle. Very, very good link set. And the categories are Pure Saiyan, Artificial Lifeforms, Crossover, and Join Forces. I guess technically, would they be on Pure Saiyans? I mean, they are clones, quote unquote. So yeah, I mean, obviously that would be very good for them to be on that team. But yeah, very good. The autumn attack would be a variety of level 1 to 3 attacks from all the clone warriors from fighters. Because yeah, I think they've taken some stuff from fighters before, like the Tech 16 super attack animation and stuff. So yeah, I thought this was a cool little one to throw in. Nice little interesting idea, seeing the clone warriors from fighters. So shout out to twiggyx for this submission, and let us move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have an entry from MiracleWhee, and this is Driven to Madness Super Boo Revival, the Extreme AGL TUR. So the leader skill is Heavenly Events or Final Trump card, 4 key, HP 150, attack and defense 170. I think from what we've seen from the recently released units, this feels like a leader skill that they only really give to Dokkan Fest LRs, because it is quite high, but obviously very, very strong leader skill. The super attack is the Assault Rain, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, does immense damage to all enemies with a high chance of stunning or high chance of sealing. So I guess, because it says or, is it like a 50% chance that it will do one, 50% chance to do the other? It'd be interesting to see how that would actually work in-game. But it's pretty cool. Obviously, greatly raising defense and then being an immense damage AoE unit. So it's kind of like almost like an extreme answer to the AGL Gotenks that we got recently. Although, obviously, a little bit more powerful. His passive is the Despicable Jin. Attack and defense 166%, plus an additional key 3 and attack and defense 66%. High chance to perform a critical hit and recover 16% HP at the end of a turn when facing only one enemy. And then gain an additional key plus 5, launches an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super and recovers 5% of damage dealt as HP when facing 2 or more enemies. So he straight up gets extra key and a big attack and defense buff, as well as a 50% chance to crit and end of turn HP recovery against single enemies. So obviously for long form events, this still makes him really useful. And then against multiple enemies, you're pretty much going to guarantee that you super attack. And then you can potentially get an additional super. Recovering 5% of damage dealt as HP for an AoE unit that does immense damage and could potentially double super is actually ridiculous. Like, we mentioned it in the Baby Hachiak one, but like, this unit would be a Super Battle Road god for no item runs, because 5% of damage dealt as HP recovery to all enemies when you're doing immense damage to all of them, potentially twice, is an insane amount of healing. So that is actually crazy. So the unit has a revival ability. So if HP is 60% or less at the start of the character's attacking turn, revives with 33% HP recovered and activates ultimate attack when the character or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd. So this is a new mechanic. I did read, obviously, the notes down below. Basically, this is a recovery that essentially activates like an active skill attack at the same time. So obviously, we've seen, like, you know, recoveries heal you. We now have units that do a recovery and exchange into another unit. This is kind of like the next evolution of that, where it's a recovery skill that then also is activating an attack or like a damage based active skill. So the ultimate attack is the Ill Bomber. Massively raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage to all enemies. Attacks are super effective against all type for 1 turn and evades enemy attacks for 1 turn, but loses 33% HP and seals self for 1 turn. So basically it means that once you use it, so you revive, you get a 33% HP recover, but then you lose 33% HP. So I guess the only downside to this, obviously the revival is HP 60% or less. If you got it off when you were on like 2% HP, you do revive, but you're then still only on 2% HP, but you're alive. So obviously you can use an item to heal yourself. It does massive damage to all the enemies, and then on that turn, this Boo is then not able to super attack. His normal attacks are super effective against all types. It's not like he's going to do a lot of damage, but then he does also dodge all the enemies' attacks as well. So very interesting effect. I think it is pretty cool, very unique. It'd be something that would be interesting to see added into the game at some point. So the links are Margin, Metamorphosis, Infinite Regeneration, Big Bad Bosses, Wall Standing Tall, Brutal Beatdown and Fierce Battle, and the categories are Artificial Life Forms, Exploding Rage, Transformation Boost, Margin Power, Margin Boost Saga, Heavenly Events, Power Absorption, Final Trump Card, Sworn Enemies, and Worldwide Turmoil. So he's included his rainbow stats here. And then, yeah, since we got the new Dokkan Fest Kid Buu, a different route decided to make this Dokkan Fest Super Buu. It's been one of his best moments was fight against Ultima Gohan. We also don't have a good Assault Rain SA animation, true. On top of that, an Extreme Class Heavenly Events and Final Trump card lead would be perfect. New mechanic is the Ultima Attack, which would be an active skill but is triggered by the Revival. So, very, very cool. Very interesting new mechanics. Very awesome card. I'd be very hyped to summon for this. So very good submission from MiracleWhee for this week. And let us move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have an entry from EdiblePigs, which is Absorption of Earth's Greatest Hero, Buu brackets Goku absorbed. So this is a what if card of basically Buu absorbing Goku. So I think this is really cool. I don't know if this exists in Heroes. I haven't seen it at all, but I do think this is kind of interesting and very cool. So again, an Extreme Tech TUR. A lot of Extreme Tech love in this video today. Transformation boost or sworn enemies category 3 key HP attack and defense 170. So very solid leader skill. The super attack is the Super Kamehameha, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, it does immense damage to the enemy with a high chance to stun. So very good super attack effect. Obviously additionals for this guy, not only for the buffing stats but the stun chance. Be very, very good for Super Battle Road. Passive is Key +3, attack and defense 159%. Then an additional attack 59% and great chance of performing a critical hit when performing a super attack. High chance of performing an additional super and extreme class allies Key 2 and defense 59% when there is a super class enemy. So there's going to be a lot of times when this is going to be very useful, especially in all like the longer form events. So he's going to be giving everyone key and a defensive buff, as well as having the 50% chance to additional super, which like in those longer form events you can't stun, but getting a double super to get the double stat raise is obviously going to be very, very useful. So links are Kamehameha, Metamorphosis, Shocky Speed, Wall Standing Tall, Big Bad Bosses, Margin and Fierce Battle. The categories are Power Absorption, Margin Power, Margin Boost Saga, Transformation Boost, Artificial Life Forms, Kamehameha, Sworn Enemies, and Final Trump card. So it'd be very cool if Dokkan started doing what if characters like this, maybe a Goku and Gohan Potara fusion, or if Gohan went Super Saiyan on Namek, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, like one of the reasons why I like all the Heroes stuff is because it's kind of like what if for like different forms for characters. But obviously when it comes to Dokkan, they're bringing in the characters from Heroes, right? So there's still characters that exist in other Dragon Ball IPs, whereas obviously this is a completely new, as far as I know, what if unit that is not from Heroes or anything. But I thought it was pretty cool, so I wanted to include it. It's not the most like crazy complex card with like new mechanics or anything, but it's pretty straightforward, very solid, very powerful, good in pretty much any event based on the different things that they do. So pretty cool. And yeah, a Goku absorbed Buu. Be interesting to see what that would look like as well. So pretty cool entry. Shout out to EdiblePigs for this one. And let us move on to the winning entry for this week. Okay, so last but obviously not least is the winning entry for this week. This was the one that got the most votes from multiple judges. And this entry comes to us from Simperoni. This is the Innocent Smile Arale Norimaki. So a new Arale card. Super Tech. Even when we moved on to Super, still another tech. You love to see it. So Super Tech TUR. The leader skill is Dragon Ball Saga or Comedic Fighters, category 4 key, HP attack and defense 170. Dragon Ball Saga definitely needs love, needs a new leader. So the super attack, name and effect, is the Nachar Cannon. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn, does immense damage to the enemy. She also has a unit super attack, the Double Nachar Kamehameha. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn, does immense damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers defense. Can be activated when there is an ally whose name includes Goku Youth on the team. So, I mean, with the options that Dragon Ball Saga has, you're almost certainly going to be running a unit that has Goku Youth in the name, because not only do you have the standalone Kid Gokus, including the Great Ape, there's the LR, Goku Youth, and Bulma that just easy aid from the ESBR stages, there's the Goku Youth and Arale free-to-play LR, so no way you're not going to be getting this, basically. The passive is Power of Gag characters, Key +6, attack 200% and defense 80%. Great chance to evade enemy attacks, including supers, as the first attacker in the turn, plus an additional attack 100% but defense -50% as the second attacker in the turn. Guards all attacks as the third attacker in the turn. Attacks effective against all types for the rest of the battle after performing 6 attacks, plus an additional defense 100% when there is an ally whose name includes Goku Youth on the team. So again, you're pretty much always going to have this. I mean, it does feel like you really, really want that extra 100% defense, right? Especially considering you only have 80% at the start of the turn, and then if you're in the second slot, you're losing an extra 50% defense as well. So it kind of feels like you're almost tied to having to use a Goku Youth. But as I said, with the super attack condition, there's almost no way you're not going to be running a Youth Goku on this team. Although I guess it does affect her viability on some of the other categories that she's on, right? Because she's going to have a lot lower defense. So on some of those teams where you can't run a Youth Goku, obviously in slot 1, attacks that go off before she attacks, you're going to be at the mercy of just this 80% defense. But then after that, she has a 70% chance to dodge. Or if you're going to run her on a team without a Kid Goku, then her best role is going to be in slot 3 because she's going to have guard. And then, yeah, once you've attacked 6 times, regardless of whether they're supers, she then has attacks effective against all types for the rest of the battle, which is pretty useful. So she has an active skill called the Earth Splitter. Mega colossal damage to all enemies with a great chance to stun them. Can be activated after performing 4 attacks from the start of the battle once only. So again, not specifying super attacks. So the unit doesn't have a way to additional in her passive. So even with the best RNG of getting an additional attack every turn, you're only going to be able to use this on her 3rd appearance, which is turn 5. So considering it is an AoE super, you're probably going to be using this as like a finisher for Super Battle Road, or it's not necessarily something you're going to see in like easier stages of Super Battle Road, but definitely very effective. Her links are Mechanical Menaces, Shocking Speed, Battlefield Diva, The Innocence Revival, Penguin Village Adventure, and Fierce Battle. So very much designed to be used around those same units. Categories are Dragon Ball Saga, Comedic Fighters, Artificial Lifeforms, Youth, and Crossover. So while she is an Artificial Lifeforms unit, which was the theme of the episode, can't really be used on the Artificial Lifeforms team, really, because you really want to run her with a Kid Goku. But she's a massive buff for Dragon Ball Saga, Youth. Comedic Fighters is obviously a new category. It says it consists of characters who act silly or have silly attacks / attack names. So like Gotenks, Fat Boo, Kid Goku, Jackie Chun, Kid Goten, and Trunks, etc. So obviously Kid Goku is on this category as well. So Dragon Ball Saga, Comedic Fighters, or Youth, you're easily going to be able to run her at her full potential. And she just seems like a very interesting addition, especially for somebody like me, who I didn't summon on the Arale banner. I hadn't been playing Dokkan for very long. And for whatever reason, those units just never came back. With everything else that they've done recently, with the Fusions, Awakenings, and Easy A's, the Heroes Easy A's, and stuff like that, I wonder if we will ever see the return of these units. They brought back that STR Super Saiyan Goku as well. I wonder if we will ever see those units come back, because I don't really care too much, because I probably wouldn't use them, but it is a little bit annoying that they're units that I don't have. So a new Arale would definitely be pretty cool. So shout out to Simperoni for being the winning entry for this week. And yeah, shout out to everybody that submitted their entries. Like I said at the beginning, they're all good. It was fun reading through them all, but they can't all make it into the video. So shout out to everyone who submitted a custom card. Shout out to all the judges as well for helping me make my picks. And as always, make sure you join the Discord if you want to be able to submit a card for the next episode. We always discuss in the Discord channel what the theme is going to be. I say we discuss it, but usually I pull up to the channel a couple of hours after the video's gone up, and people have pretty much already agreed amongst themselves what they want the next theme to be. But hey, that works for me. So if you want to be involved in a future episode, make sure you join the Discord. The link will be in the description. If you're watching this video the day it goes up, I am currently live as well. I'll be in the middle of doing my 24-hour World Tournament live stream, so if you want to come and keep me company and stop me from going completely insane, do come over and join the live stream. So shout out to everybody that was involved once again, and be interesting to see what the theme is for next week. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.